Hi everybody, Radical Gardener. Well, as you can see, I helped my gray hair and dyed the front of it so that I don't have to keep dyeing my hair over and over again. I love it. I just think it looks fantastic. So my next door neighbor is a hairdresser and she's a really good one. And so, yeah, that's what we did. Of course, you guys have seen me with, 20 different hair colors since I started this channel. Okay, so it's late. It's 10 o'clock on Monday night. It is, really freaking cold outside. I haven't been in winter for a long time. And I mean, that wind has got to be 30, 40 miles an hour. The streets are icy. It's snowing a bit. So yeah, it's winter. I'd rather be in this than that freaking 90-degree heat. I was really tired of that. It's taken me a lifetime to realize I'm a Midwestern girl. This is where I need to be. I'm not budging anymore. I've had enough. I've had enough moving. And that brings me to, these last few years have been so hectic. And I just don't really think I was fully in my body. Losing Joe was huge. Moving to Florida was huge. And it was a great move as long as Joe was alive. And then once he died, it was just, it was just getting hard to be there. Yeah, it was just getting really hard. And so I wasn't living any of my passions. I didn't even know what any of my passions were. I was so, I don't know. Survival mode, grieving. It's hard to tell, you don't know when you're in the middle of it. So I've had an epiphany in the last week or so that the only way, okay, that's enough of that. The only way to live life is to live your passion. And so I had to think, well, what is my passion? I mean, I'd forgotten what is my passion? So I thought about it for several days, and then I wrote down several things. And what I do know is that if you're living your passion, your life, it moves along seamlessly, especially if you just live your passion and have no expectations attached to it. So it starts off with teaching. I love to teach. But what I really love is teaching large groups. Now that I do core voice connection workshops and, lots of other things that I can do in groups. But I do like to teach. And I would say that is a passion. And to continue studying and learning about the human voice and seeing what I can bring to the table, and maybe even writing about it, maybe doing some YouTube shows on it. But yeah, being connected to the human voice, the core voice, that is definitely a passion. So I said, okay, there you go. So I can write about it. I can do videos about it. I can study it. So that is a passion. So what's another passion? Well, as you know, it was gardening. And I've had the wind knocked out of me. I've had 4 gardens destroyed after I left where I was. My first one was in Seattle, and that was my very first garden. And we had dug up the whole backyard, and that's when I learned how to garden, and we were constantly pulling food out of there, and it was such a joy. And I just can't tell you how happy I was. And then we moved to Harson's Island. I had 18 raised beds. I had a produce stand. I supplemented what I didn't have by driving around on Thursday afternoons and picking up from local farmers, because you're by a lot of farmland when you're out by Harson's Island. And I was so happy. oh my God, and I was writing about gardening and talking about gardening, and then so the garden in Seattle, when we moved, they completely dug it up and destroyed it. When we left our garden in on Harson's Island, it's 18 raised beds, all this work we put into it, they dug it up and destroyed it. So then we moved to Berkeley, and you guys remember the Berkeley garden because that's when I really got serious about the channel, the YouTube channel, and that garden was spectacular. It was everything I wanted a garden to be. We dug up every piece of lawn. We had flowers everywhere. It was just phenomenal. And so when we moved down to Florida, the woman that was moving into it, we talked about if she needed help or any advice, let me know about the garden. And a friend of mine who lived in Berkeley, where my garden was, rode by and took a picture, and they destroyed the whole thing. They actually destroyed that garden and put in lawn. And I moved down to Florida, and you guys saw I built a tropical garden down there, and I was doing that when Joe was dying. I mean, I was just, burning, the candle at both ends, and probably why I have a sore hip now. And I just really kind of did myself in. And, after a couple of months, and people bought that, they loved the garden, everything. I drove by, and that was gone. I had, oh God, I don't know, 17 fruit trees. And then I moved to my little place, my trailer and everything, and I had, 33 pots with all my plants in it. A lot of those plants they'd brought from Michigan. A lot of them were tropical because, as you know, we had tropical plants in Michigan, and we put them in the garage with the grow lights over the winter because the garage was heated. So, and I had to leave those. I couldn't bring them here with me. Where was I going to put them? I had nowhere to put them. So, these gigantic pots I had paid a fortune for. Anyways, it was just every single time I was gardening. So what's the point of that? Well, do I have the strength and the, do I want to do it all over again? So, I've started thinking about it. It is a passion. I love to garden. I love to have my hands in dirt. But I'm kind of limited now by, just the physicality, and I'm older. So I thought, you know what? I have this great front porch here, and I'm going to just start there. And I picked up a really cool miniature greenhouse that I can put on the front porch. And I thought, I'm just going to make that front porch look like a tropical paradise. And it's an old-fashioned porch. It's really long, and I thought, I'm going to do that so I can still garden. So that's another passion that I have. And then writing. So I love to write. I'm a pretty good writer. I've written a couple of books, and I love to write songs. So we're putting a band back together. We've already had a rehearsal. So I'm whipping some songs into shape. So I'm doing that. And I have a book about gardening and just life that's kind of halfway done. And I'm going to go back and look at that. And then my other passion is reading. So I do have some passions. So I have to make sure that that's all incorporated in my daily life and make these things a priority so that I am at a frequency that I should be at a very high frequency. Again, if you live your passion, life changes. Things come to you easily. There's very little drama. So I've been clearing the deck to move forward with these things. getting rid of all the, I need to do this, I need to pay that, I need to do that. Anyways, it's all done. The house is done. My teaching schedule is set. So now I can really move forward on these things. So I have to tell you that if you're not living your passion, it's time to do that. Think about what that is. It's how we're going to bring any real joy, true joy into the world. Because that's our truth. That's the essence of who we are. That's what we bring and permeates all the parallel lives that we're living, is that passion. Yeah, so that's what's been on my mind. Well, when spring comes, I'll be working and doing the garden, but it's going to be on my front porch. That's where I'm going to start. We'll see where it ends up. I do have one more move in me, and it's going to be on somebody's farmland, or it's going to be on somebody's property, and I'm going to have a tiny house. That's where I'm going to end up. I can feel it, but right now I'm just chilling and regrouping and just finding my place in my new home, So yeah. Okay, everybody. Radical Gardener, from my garden to yours. May your garden always grow. I'm sending you a ton of love. Okay, see y'all later. Oh, wait, you want to see Minky? Minky, come here. Come here, so cute. Come here, Minky. Oh, Minky. Here she is. Look at this little dog. Isn't she cute? Minky, see? Okay. All right, Radical Gardener, from my garden to yours. Sending you a ton of love. All right? Okay. Bye-bye. Bye.